hello, hey. Ooh, ooh. How do we feel about this wig? I don't know how I feel about it. Oh. Oh god, something cracked when I did that. Hey, what's up? I'm Allie, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing my October TBR, the only TBR video I pretty much ever do, and it's always really big. Like really big. This is not any different from any other year. I have like around like 30 books, I feel like. October is like my time to shine. I feel like I love all the activities that happen in October. I love Halloween. I love all the readathons. It seems like there's so many readathons, and I'm always excited about all of them. And as you know, I put out a few things in October, and I will have some more interesting videos than I feel like I normally do. It's just my creative season. What can I say? So, as I said, October is full of readathons, and so I have created a whole notion that is just about October readathons to help you find the readathon for you. Basically, you can copy over this Notion to your own Notion. If you don't know, Notion is like this organization website, and it's amazing. It will change it is life changing, I swear. I have that over there. Basically, it is set up in like a spreadsheet way, and make sure that you are scrolling from side to side because it has the readathon name. It does have a link to like the main information, and then it has like number of prompts, what type of prompts they are. Like, are they just prompts? Are they bingo prompts? Like, are there multimedia prompts in there? And then it also like has how many weeks it is, if it's a month long, if it's just a week, if it's a weekend kind of thing. And then it has like theme and if there's other things involved. So you can find the right readathon that is a match for you, my friend. I'm actually hopefully going to be participating in at least readathons, and that is kind of what I have based my TBR around, or the prompts for these specific readathons as well. So yeah, the main ones I'm going to be participating in are Gothtober, which is month long, and they have so many amazing things planned for Gothtober. It is absolutely fantastic. There are 3 different teams you can be on: Team Angel, Team Demon, or Death, and I am actually part of Team Demon, so you can come and join my demon fam. There's going to be merch and all other kinds of fun stuff, but they have so many. I have seen the calendar. There are so many fun interactive live shows, and so it's going to be a really good time, and I just always really look forward to it. Basically, there are different prompts depending on what team that you're on, and you can decide based on that, but I am a hellhound for Team Demon, so that is obviously what I will be basing my TBR on. Another one I'm going to be participating in, and a lot of the prompts kind of overlap with some of the other ones, which is why I picked this one, and that is Stabathon. Now this is, I believe, a week long, and it starts October 4th and goes to October 10th. Prompts are based on like slasher movies, and I think that is amazing, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun as well. And then the last one I'm going to be doing is also a month long, and it is Fright at the Movies readathon. And this basically, you pick a different type of horror movie genre and you do prompts based on that. And I can't remember which one I'm doing. I'm doing the one I think that has Pennywise on it. The graphics are so heckin' cute for this. They're so cute. Who had the right to make the graphics that diggity dang on darn cute? Oh! Bingo boards. I make a bingo board for myself every season, and I make blank ones for you all. So I only made a few new ones this year. Honestly, I just love the ones from last year so much, and I was just like, why do I need to keep adding to this when the ones that I have are pretty good? But I have all the ones from years previously. I use one to put all the movies that I want to watch, and then one that has all my book prompts, and then the one that has my book prompt, I have different colors for the font that indicate like whose challenge they are for which readathon, and then I kind of just mark those off as I go throughout the month. So you are more than welcome to use these. I will link to any of the blank ones listed below. You can use any type of free text adding app. You could even use PowerPoint or Keynote if you have that on your computer. But yeah, you can use Canva. Canva is a really great free editing software, and so that's what I made these on. Like, I don't create these graphics, they're just from Canva. So if you are interested, that will be there. let's get into the actual hickety heckin' books, because I'm assuming that's what you're actually here for, not all this other junk that I throw out at you every October. Alright, I'm still kind of finding books for some of these, but let's start off with the Gothtober prompts that I have. And so the first one is mythology. This just is a book that has mythology elements. The main element is mythology, and I do have 2 picks here. I would love to, I've started both of these and just have not finished them. I am pretty far in the one, and the other one I've just kind of started. But the one is Piranesi. So this follows Piranesi, and he is stuck in the labyrinth, essentially. And there's only one other being in the labyrinth, and that's all they have ever known. And basically he starts coming across these different things and whatnot that make him question whether that is all that there is. Or I could finish A Storm of Locusts, because I've been reading this for like a year now. It's fantastic. Why is it taking me so long? I don't know. Probably because I know I'm going to have to wait forever for if there was a sequel. But this is based around Navajo mythology, and it is an apocalyptic world, and we follow a monster slayer, Maggie. She's amazing, and she's witty, and she's smart, and I love her, and she's kick-ass. And basically she is encountering like gods and monsters. And it's absolutely fantastic. So I would like to do one of those. Next we have Omens, and this is a book that has omens as part of a part of the story, and honestly I don't really know for this one. I'm sure once I get into a book I will realize that it has omens within it. So I'm honestly not too sure. I am kind of currently leaning towards the violent season, because this is about a town that has this rumor that every November the people just become consumed by this like never-ending hunger. And then, like, I'm assuming it's, like, bloody and gory and whatnot. I don't know. So, yeah, that's kind of based around that. So, this is an arc, and it does come out in October. So, it would be nice to read this and then be able to review it. So, I'm thinking that. I also think this is going to work for another prompt later on. And then Found Family. This is a book that has a found family in it. Again, I feel like this is hard to figure out when you're just looking at a synopsis of a story, so I do think I'm going to end up getting into something that I already have on my TBR, and it's going to work for this, so I'm not too worried about finding a specific book for this one just yet, but feel free to leave me recommendations, like spooky found family recommendations. We have dark romance, and of course this is just a dark romance, and I realized that I hadn't really read a lot of dark romance, like I have read none. I've read like none. I'm thinking either A Lesson in Thorns, or I saw someone talking about, it's called the Mindfuck series, and it is about a serial killer and a detective that like fall in love. And I heard that it is spicy. But I'm also thinking Lesson in Thorns, because I've also heard of that, and that is like a group of friends go back to this place where like things happened. It's like a kind of an academia type setting, and I do think that there are like menage a trois that happen. I might be wrong about that. Don't like quote me on that. I think that had some, and I've heard good things. That was a pretty popular title last year, and I started it and didn't get around, kind of forgot. Then LGBTQ plus rec, and for this one I think I am going to do The River Has Teeth. I honestly don't know anything about this, but Starzy told me that it was LGBTQ, so I am gonna go with it. And I've seen a lot of people talking about it, and I am just intrigued. And I also think, I'm sure I have some other things in my list as well that probably work for this. Murder, and this is just a book that involves murder to some degree, and I think I'm going to read The Cold Moon Over Babylon. And this is about a young woman in a sleepy southern town who has been murdered. And her killer is like rich and powerful now. And I believe this is about how like her spirit basically comes back and like haunts, I don't know if it's the whole town or just him or what happens, but I've heard really fantastic things about this. And I do believe that this is kind of a horror classic, so I'm dabbling into the horror genre, and I think that this would be nice. I also got that recommended from a YouTuber who I will reveal at a later date when I finish the vlog. reference to classic, and this is just either is a classic or is a retelling of a classic, and I feel like I am just so intrigued. Everyone is currently talking about this, and that is A Dowry of Blood, and this is Dracula's wives, and I believe it follows one of them as she is pulled into being Dracula's wife, and I hear there's some very sensual scenes in this as well. But it does look at like abusive relationships as well, and like the torment of not only like your abuser, but how your feelings are in an abusive relationship, like with yourself, and like not being able to like trust yourself, but also like really loving that person. And like I've just heard really powerful things about this, on top of the fact that it's like kind of sensual at times. So I am really intrigued. I read Dracula last year and it was okay, but I am really intrigued by the idea of Dracula's brides. Plus I get FOMO. Everyone's talking about it and I get FOMO really bad. And everyone is like rating it like 5 stars. So I need to know. Demon in film, either watch your favorite demon movie or TV show. And I am probably going to watch Jennifer's Body because Megan Fox. It has also been probably 10 years since I've last seen it. So I feel like I need to revisit it. I think it is like cropping up in popularity as well, so I think it's just time. Then we have BIPOC, and this is a Black, Indigenous, or Person of Color book. And for this one, I am either going to do My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. And I believe this follows a girl who knows, like, she is a walking, like, encyclopedia of, like, slasher films. And I think that this is about her, like, daydreaming of how, like, her perfect like murder would go based on the movies that she loves. So I'm not too sure, but I've really enjoyed Stephen Graham Jones's writing recently, so I would like to check that out as well. Also, the media like in a book, like taking inspiration from a media in book, is like one of my new favorite things. I really like, especially when it has to do with slasher films, which is weird because I don't watch slasher films. Either that or I picked up The Devourers. Honestly, I probably could not describe this book to you. I'm still not 100% sure what it's about, but I did see good reviews about this. This is an Indian author, and I believe it is Indian published as well. This is set around like folklore. I'm assuming Indian folklore, and this is about a professor who really wants to get his hands on like these different scripts and novels and whatnot, and really go through and research into them. And as he is doing so, like, he finds that they really depict this society, what was it, a race of people at once more than human yet kin to beast, ruled by instincts and desires, blood deep, age old, and the lone woman who dares to defy them. So I did hear really good things, plus this cover. It's stunning. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. This doesn't do it. Like, this does not do it justice whatsoever. Like, it is 10 times more stunning in person. I'll probably take like 300 pictures of this on my Instagram. Then Disability Rep is the last one for Team Demon, and I do think that this is one of the prompts that spanned all the teams, but I did see that I Am Still Alive, I believe, has some disability rep. It is about a girl who, I think she's like, she walks with a cane. She was in an accident. Her mother was killed in this accident. She now has to walk with a cane, and her father is kind of like this survivalist type guy. And then something happens, and I believe their home is like burned down, and then she has to live in the wilderness and somehow survive in the wilderness. And she also, you know, has to use a cane to get around. So I am intrigued by this, and I have heard really great things. Okay, moving on to the prompts for a Fright at the Movies readathon. There are only a few for this, I believe, with a group of kids. And for this, I think I'm going to read Camp Slaughter. This has been recommended to me by at least 2 people on here recently. So I am hoping to get around to this. This is about, I think there's like a legend, a local legend, essentially. And it takes place in the woods of Pennsylvania, which kind of creeps me out, because that's really close to me. And so this is about like a group of teens, I think, or college kids that go out to rent out this cabin in the middle of the woods, but there's a cannibal on the loose. So I've heard this is really gory. Then retelling of an urban legend. I had such a hard time finding anything for this. Someone did tell me, I think it's like, is it snow over crusted? Is it moon over crusted snow or something along the lines of that? But I am thinking the violent season might work for this. It's not based around an urban legend, but it is based around like a legend within the story. So I'm thinking that might work for that, but I would gladly take any recommendations for this because after I posted that, a lot of people were like, oh my god, I would love for this to be a thing. And I'm like, I would too. I suddenly need a lot more recommendations for this. So a supernatural being, and I think for this I would want to read Nothing But Blackened Teeth, and this is a novella, I believe, and this is about, I can't remember. I think it's like this group goes to go to a wedding, or there was a wedding there, and something happens and they are haunted by a past bride there of some sort. I feel like I just butchered that synopsis really bad. But it has what is quite literally the most fascinating cover I've ever seen. Been on TBR longest, and I'm going to go with Horror Store for this, and this is a horror novel, but it is set in an IKEA, and the book is set up like an IKEA catalog, and I have heard good things about it. I also really enjoy Grady Hendrix's work, so I have been meaning to read this for like the past 3 years, and I'm hoping this will be the year that I finally read it. Then we have Stabathon, and as I said, a lot of these already kind of intersect. The only ones that haven't are with blood on the cover, and I do think, again, I am probably going to read Camp Slaughter and just let this kind of overlap there. Either that or Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke, I think is the title. And that is about two women who like meet online, and I guess they share some weird shit together online. And then like, I don't know what happens, but it looks kind of fucked up. So there's that. And then during the summer, I am thinking of maybe reading The Ruins. I've been hearing kind of mixed things about this. It's about a couple that goes on vacation, and they're there with some friends, and then like one of the friends ends up going to like a Mayan ruin, and they don't come back, so they go to the Mayan ruins to search for them. And apparently I did not connect the dots. So there was the movie is based on, I did not connect those dots. So I've been hearing mixed things. We'll see. This does intrigue me. However, I'm thinking I might need a palate cleanser from all this horror. I am thinking of doing How Moon Fuentes Fell in Love with the Universe, and this is about a girl who is used to being the ugly sister to her sister, who's like this big star, and so she decides to go with her sister for the summer, and she ends up getting a job on like the merch bus. She actually hates her bunkmate Santiago, and he's actually like the worst person ever, but he's also like the most attractive person ever. Fate apparently keeps bringing them together, making them question if they really truly hate each other. So I'm thinking that might be my palate cleanser for the month. And then the last two, one is watch your favorite scary movie, and I mean I have a ton planned, but I am going to be watching Scream for the first time ever, which is a lot of my friends' favorite, and I'm thinking of doing a reaction video to that. And then the last one is a slasher, and I honestly think just about any of these could probably work for that. Fill out my bingo board. I actually have my own. I normally have to add my own prompts every year, so I have several of those. We have a graphic novel, and for this I'm probably going to read Fangs, which is about vampires. Women. That's all I know. I think it doesn't have a synopsis on here at all. So yeah, there's vampires in this, and that's all I really know. But I do have a few other middle grade graphic novels that are coming that are about witches and witchcraft, and I just don't have those here. So we'll see. You'll see within my reading blogs and whatnot what I end up reading for that. And then short story collections. I always love a short story collection, especially during the spooky time. So I'm thinking of maybe Paulette Tremblay's Growing Things, maybe, which I believe is a horror short story collection, or Hex, which is a short story collection, anthology of like witchy and witchcraft short stories. And this was on my TBR earlier this year, and I had to take it back to the library, but I'm hoping to just get a copy because I think I'm going to love it, and some of my favorite authors are in that anthology. You know, we have a recommended read, and a few of these have already been recommended to me, but I'm thinking of Harrow Lake. One of you actually recommended this to me, and I know Vanessa also enjoyed this last year, and this is about a girl who is the daughter of like a reclaimed horror filmmaker, and so she thinks nothing can scare her, but then her dad is brutally attacked and she is shipped off to live at Harrow Lake with her grandmother, where his most disturbing movie was ever shot, and there's these weird disappearances and there's just some creepy things happening, and she feels like someone or something is watching her every move. We also have manga, and I was recommended Blood on the Tracks, so I do have the first 3 volumes. I don't know anything about this except for it is about a family. Their everyday lives just start to become like horrendous. Has vampires, again, we've already kind of seen. We had Fangs, and then I am hoping to read Suffer the Children, which is, I believe, about vampire children. Heard that it's a bit creepy and a little gory, and so we will see. Who would I be if I didn't have a dark academia on this list? And yes, Starzy, I plan on reading Bunny finally, because I've heard this is dark academia, this is also horror, and I just heard fantastic things, and I feel like I'm really gonna love this. I don't really know what this is about. Well, it deals with this group of really popular people at the school that she's at, and they are known as the Bunnies, and they just like call each other Bunny. I think he joins an invitation to become a bunny, and then she becomes involved deeper and deeper in some of the sinister things that they are involved in. And then the last thing that I put on here is a fear that you have, and so I think I'm going to add things have gotten worse since we last spoken, because one of my biggest fears is like meeting someone online, and one, they either are absolutely not who they say they were, or 2, they unload all these terrible dark things on me, and then I have to deal with that. So those are some fears. I don't think people realize like how terrified I am of just like strangers on the internet. Hence why I put myself out here all the time. I'm gonna hurry up and try to get through this since my camera just died. It was like, bitch, your video does not need to be this long. And I was like, worry about yourself. I'm gonna quickly run through some other titles that I am interested in. Might swap out, depends on what I am feeling. I love to give myself a lot of options. So possibly the Grimrose Girls. This is an arc and it comes out in November. It's basically like these girls are tied, their lives are like tied to like Grimm's fairy tales, and so they are finding out quite quickly that they need to like change the course of their stories, I believe. Another arc that I have is the Corpse Queen, which I'm really excited about, and this comes out, when did this come out? Oh, this is already out. About a girl oops. This is about a girl in the 1800s. She goes to live with her aunt, who is a grave robber, and she kind of gets sucked into that. It's also about like misogyny and whatnot during that time. And then I kind of want to get to Kill Creek, which I've heard really fantastic things about, and this is about like this author goes to write in this haunted house, and I think he's there with a few other authors, and they quickly realize that like there's more to it than them just writing, and I think they have to do things to like get out with their lives. Survival, the entity they have awakened will follow them, torment them, threaten to make them a part of the bloody legacy of Kill Creek. So this one sounds interesting. I don't think I'm super into the entity thing. So I would like to get to the Death of Jane Lawrence. Honestly, don't know that much about it, just that the cover is absolutely stunning. And then When the Reckoning Comes, and this is about a black woman who I believe moves away. Her best friend is white and kind of owns a plantation that was like a slave plantation back during slavery, and basically she has moved away. Her friend is getting married on this plantation, and she goes to kind of go back to the wedding, but the ghosts come out from the slave days, I do believe, based on the synopsis. This sounds really intriguing, also incredibly powerful, and I feel like it has a lot. I really focus on history and how that history has continued to impact society for years to come after that. So I think that sounds really interesting. Also, A Curse in Ash, which is my friend Julie's book, Julie from Pages and Pens here on YouTube, has the book coming out, and so I am really intrigued by it as well. And it is about a girl who I believe gets involved. She is a witch, and I think she gets involved with the Fae, and I just heard that there are 2 love interests in this, and we don't gotta give any of them up. So I'm intrigued. I think that's it for now. I have a few others. You may have seen that I did like a reacting to your horror recommendations. I might end up adding some of those in, and I'm probably gonna do another one of those this month as well. And yeah, we'll see how many of these I actually get through. I do normally average about 15 books for this month, so hopefully I'll have to clean them all off the floor, and we'll see what I can finish this month. Let me know what readathons you're participating in, what your TBR is looking like, if you plan on reading any of these as well, what you have planned. Just let me know your October plans, because I am psyched about all of it. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging around and watching this overly long TBR video, but I hope that you have enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to see future videos from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! I just really want to get up close and personal with this makeup look.